So next on our list is to create a new photo entity. So I'm just going to go back into Explorer, just clean up my windows, and this is going to take place in a domain. So inside the domain project, I'll create a new C# class and call it photo. And all we're going to do inside here is just give it 3 properties. One of them is going to be a string to represent the ID. And what we'll do, the ID that we get back from Cloudinary, we'll use that to set this particular ID. We'll also have a string of the URL. And we'll also have a property to represent if the photo is the main photo for the user. So we'll call this isMain and make it a type of Boolean. And then we just need to go to our app user entity. And what we'll do in here is we'll add an iCollection and we'll make it a virtual property so that our lazy loading kicks in and loads this up transparently from our database when this navigation property is accessed. And we'll specify iCollection of photo, and we need to call this photos. And what I'm also going to do while I'm here inside the app user, because we're going to be working on the user's profiles in this particular section, I'm just going to add another property inside here for the user's bio. And we're not going to allow the user to do much with their profiles other than really just adding photos and setting their display name and the bio. That's really what we're going to allow users to do that's profile related, but we'll set this up now. And then we need to go to our data context. And because this is a one-to-many relationship and we've defined the navigation property inside the user's collection, we don't need to provide any additional configuration in our data context. But what we do need to add is a DB set for photos. And I'll say photo and photos. And we don't need to do anything else. What we can do now is create a new migration. So I'm just going to open up the terminal window. And as per normal, we're going to need to stop our API server. And I'll just cd up into reactivities. And then just do .NET EF migrations, add, and I'll just say photo entity added, and then specify persistence for the project where our data context is, and API for the startup project, and press return. And this should be successful, and let's go take a look at the migration that this has created. And if we take a look, we can take a look at the photo entity added migration, and all that's going on in here is we're just adding a new column for the bio in our .NET users, and we're creating a new table for our photos with our 3 columns, and we also have a column for our app user ID, and this is also going to be the foreign key for any photos that we add. So that looks good. Then all we need to do then to apply this migration is simply to start our application, and this new migration will be applied. So I'll say .NET Watch run. And once this is up and running, what we can do, just to double check that this is okay, we'll just go into SQLite and open database and reactivities DB. And inside Explorer, we can just take a look at our SQLite database, and we can see our photos table in there along with the properties that we've added. So that looks good. And now we've got this part in place, what we'll do next is add a handler for our photos so that we can add new photos to our API.